Hi crafty friends, it's Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft, my world stands still. Today I'm so excited to walk you through all of the Spellbinders clubs for the month of December 2025. And I'm going to walk through every single one all in one little clip at the beginning of this video before we jump into the card making portion of the video. But if you want to skip to the project and just watch the making of the projects I'm going to make with the products, you can go ahead and jump to the timestamp on the screen. But I highly recommend sticking around because the clubs are packed with so much creativity and lots of love this month. So if you want to stick around, that would be fantastic. All right, well, let's talk about the caboodle just for a minute here. So if you're someone who likes to have everything and have it all coordinated, the caboodle is a really good value for what you're getting. And you also get a special gift every month. So you're going to get it all at a discount, and then you get a free gift. So some of the benefits of club membership are 10% off all purchases with Spellbinders when you're logged into your account. So if you're trying to do that and you are a club member, just make sure you log in before you start to add things to your cart and check out, and it will show up. You can also get early access to sales and special events that Spellbinders puts out. You can get the free shipping on the caboodle, and you also just know that this bundle of crafty goodness is going to come to your crafty space every month. So it's pretty wonderful, and you get a great discount. So what are the caboodle items for this month, or what's the free gift? I know that's what a lot of people want to know. What are you getting for free? I'll get there, but let's talk about all of the club items first. So let's go over the embossing folders because I really like them this month, and I love a 3D embossing folder normally, but I also really like this one because it's just very delicate and sweet. So the regular one is called Sweet Stems, and the 3D embossing folder is called Unlock My Heart. Whoever named the clubs this month is like a genius because they're all very, very sweet. So I'm going to use both of these in a few different ways, and this regular embossing folder, I have a card where I'm going to use the embossing folder or the embossed paper with the folder in 3 different ways. So I've really tried to bring you some fun projects in this video that are going to maybe teach you something new or try out something that you haven't before. So these are great, and they're going to be perfect for some backgrounds and some focal points for my projects. Next, let's go to the die of the month. This one, I really had a hard time not making a bunch of cards with it because it's really cute. And so sometimes people call this the small die of the month, so we'll call it the small die of the month, but it's called Better Together. Oh, not only are there really sweet little owls. I'm going to pop pictures on the screen of the projects that Spellbinders puts on the back of their packaging, so you can see the great examples that they have. I will have my own examples later in the video, but that's just giving you a little flavor, you know? Okay, so we have 2 cute little owls, as you can see, and there's also otters. And you can see the one example that they have there is 1 otter, but check this out. The little tails can go both directions. You can have them hold tails if you did 2 otters, or you can have them kind of like cutesy and having their tails fling away from each other. So, so cute. And then you can also add little sentiments to their tummies. No otter like you, get out. I ended up not using the sentiments, but those are really a fun option. And then you can have them hold little things in their hands, like the heart die, which is right here. And also you can have them hold the flowers. It's just so incredibly sweet. So that is the small die. And I did make 2 cards with the owls, so I'm excited to show you those in a bit. Next, let's talk about the large die. This one is really cool because it can be a shaped card, which is what I ended up doing. So here's the example from Spellbinders, and I'm going to show you the dies here. Later in this video, I will walk you through how I made this die set into a shaped card. It's super easy, easier than you think. If you've never made a shaped card, this is the die to try it with because it's super cool when it's finished. But it says gal, and you can choose to have her have like a head wrap if you want, or you can make it look kind of like a towel if she just came out of the bathroom with a robe. But you can also have it be just like a head wrap or a scarf that people wear on their heads. So this one is called Wrapped in Care. It is the large die of the month. And like I said, the bonus item kind of coordinates with this. So there is the sleep mask that comes with the free item that comes with the caboodle. And you can see the little sleep mask fits on her face. Haha. And then you can give her these little slippers to be not on her feet because she doesn't have feet, but just kind of by her. So I made a separate card just with the one slipper and the sleep mask. So very, very cute. And you can do a whole lot just with that little die. You don't have to add it to the gal if you don't want to get the gal, but I think she's really fun. You can add cucumbers to her eyes and go like a full spa moment. There's a sentiment that would go perfect for that if you wanted to use the cucumbers on her eyes. Oh, so fun. I ended up making her bath towel have some patterned paper, and it's going to look so just very delicate and pretty. Okay, moving right along to the glimmer of the month. Now, the glimmer comes with a roll of foil. This month, it is the bright pink roll. And the actual Glimmer Club is a full background plate, which I love when they do this because you can do a lot with the background plate. You can go ombre with some beautiful foil. You can go rainbow foil and have a great little transition moment. You could grab that confetti glimmer roll and have it be kind of sparkly. So much fun. And then there are two sentiments with dies for this one. It's called Glad We're Friends and Felt Like Saying Hello. Dyslexia for the win because I read that upside down and backwards. Haha. Special brains are cool, friends. Okay, so that one is called Soft Hearted. And you can see their example they put with the large die of the month with the gal. She's looking very bridal there. Very pretty. Okay, next is the clear stamp and die, which is called Simply Said. Really a nice set to have on hand because it has so many sentiments. I'm going to put the example of what they are right here. And you can see every single one of these has a coordinating die, which I adore when they do that. And they just bubble cut, nest them out so well. And you're not going to lose any of the letters. It looks so good. I love a bubble sentiment. So there are a lot of sentiments on here about self-care, but also just like sweet ones like, let's do nothing together. Yes, please. Or for my forever friend, or just because you're you. I think I used that one a couple times. And then you make life better. Just really sweet ones. So if you are new to crafting or stamping, this one would be a good one to have as you build up your collection. Or if you are a seasoned card maker, why not add another stamp set with fantastic sentiments? Okay, moving right along to the next one. Oh, the stitch die. I will get to the better press, don't worry. Stitch die. Now, I have made my cards before I filmed this part of the video. And frankly speaking, this stitch die was my favorite card that I make in this video. So stay tuned for it. It's very sweet. And if you are a crafter like myself, you're going to want this one because why? There's mugs. And you can use this for your mug club card. If you don't know what craft roulette is, comment down below and I'll fill you in. But it's a paper crafting card making game show, and it's fantastic on every Friday night on YouTube. It's wonderful. Anyway, but like I said, this is the stitch die. You can make these little mugs that have hearts, and then they kind of do a little cheersy boop, and then their heart is complete. Oh, so cute. You could probably get kind of creative with these little stitch dies and do raindrops if you really wanted. I think it's really cool when people stretch their supplies in that way. But this one also comes with sentiments. So look at this. It says love you, and it is so scripty, beautiful, adorable. And I really like this one. So this one is not going to go far. Once I'm finished with clubs, it's not going to go too far from where I craft. And then this one says a perfect blend and let's chat soon, upside down and backwards once again. And then if you know me, you know I like to have these little sentiment strips on hand. And I'm probably going to take this one out of the package and put it on my die magnet over here. This one that holds all of my abandoned dies or ones that I don't know where they go, or shaped dies. It's going to go there. Don't tell anyone. It's just going to live there. It's fine. Okay, moving right along. Sorry, I'm feeling a little kooky today. Okay. Finally, the Better Press. This one is called I'd Pick You, and I would pick you, a crafty friend, because this one is so sweet. I ended up making a really cool background for my owls 2 different times with this Better Press heart. I'm going to demonstrate in this video basic better pressing. So if you have never done better pressing, I can help you out. And I'm also going to do a fun little technique where I'm adding 2 different ink colors to the heart. So like I said, stay tuned. And you know, if you've watched my channel, you know I love when they do this. You press it out one time, you die cut one time, and you get multiple sentiments. Now, friends, if you did not know, you can glimmer with Better Press plates. So let me just remind you, you can use ink or foil. It is so cool and a great value because you can do 2 different techniques with one item. And you know, I love a Better Press. That's why I'm a Better Press babe with my friend Melanie. And we'll just I'm putting it out there. Later this month, I'm going to have a little event with Melanie. It's Better Press Babes Night Out. We do it once a month on our channels. And I have a special lovely thing planned with Melanie for that event with Altenew. So stay tuned this month. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you will be notified. It's already scheduled on my channel. So if you go to my channel, go to live in the little tabs, you will see it there. It says Better Press Babes Altenew, December. I think it's episode 24, if I remember correctly. And then just click notify me and you will be notified when we go live. But it will be fun and really neat. Okay, moving right along to this stencil. This is called Where Love Ends. And I love this little bird. Sometimes I look at this little bird and I think, oh, it's very sweet. And then sometimes I look at it and it's a little bit sassy. On their example, to me, it reads very sweet. My card that I made, the bird looks a little sassy and I love that. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, this is a 5-layer scene building style stencil. Oof, words today. And this one is really pretty. On their example, it looks like they ink blended over a light pink. I used a light white, but instead of using a dark, harsh color like black or dark brown, I ended up using a gray. And I really like the way that this one is going to turn out. So be watching for them. All right, shall we dive right into the clubs now? I think we've got it all covered. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'd love to help you out. Oh yes, and the wax seal. By the way, the wax seal, I'll pop it on the screen, what it looks like here. I'm going to show you in this video my new way of using the wax seals with a beautiful sparkly bouillon powder. What? Yes. Sounds French. Maybe it's French. I don't know, but it's really pretty and sparkly. So just stay tuned. All right, let's jump in. So I'm going to go ahead and start out by glimmering with the Glimmer and the Better Press plate. because as I mentioned before, you can glimmer with the Better Press plate. Because it is a letterpress plate, you can use it like a stamping tool, so you can get a few fun inks out and stamp, or you can glimmer it. And I love shiny things, so glimmering is what I'm going to start off with today. By the way, the black paper that I am using is from Pajama Crafter Stamps. It is my favorite paper to use for glimmering with black paper. It is perfect. It does not have any issues when I foil with it, and I cannot say that for all of the paper in my life. So I just want to mention that, and I will have that linked down below if you are interested in picking some up for yourself. They also have a great white cardstock, which is called Marshmallow. So that's an option for great Copic coloring, but I really like the black one for glimmering with black paper. My favorite go-to white glimmer paper is the one from Spellbinders that is known as the glimmer paper. So I'm going to pull from my glimmer rolls that I have in my craft room. I'm going to use Fuchsia and Aura, and I'm going to kind of press this out two different ways. The first way that I'm going to do with the heart is just kind of the traditional way that most people will glimmer. So basically you just cut your foil down to whatever size you need it. I just kind of eyeball it for mine. And so it will go right about there. And then for the other method I'm going to show is the hinge method. Now I did not make this up, but it definitely works so well, especially for projects like this where it is a full panel glimmer. What you'll need for the hinge method is just a little bit of craft tape. Most of the time I'm using this Best Ever craft tape from Spellbinders, but I just find it to be a little bit more consistent than the one that is blue from scrapbook.com because it's more sticky. The one from scrapbook.com is not as sticky, and with glimmer, I just like it to make sure that things are in place. For my full panel here, I'm going to use the Fuchsia. Such a gorgeous color. And you can measure it out to be the correct size. I just eyeball it and hope for the best. just saying. That's what I do. And you're always going to want to put your foil with the gray side touching the paper. So that is what we're doing right there. So the gray side is touching the paper. The shiny side goes toward the plate. Then I'll trim off the extra because I use all those little scraparoos for different projects, and I have a little bin where I keep all the extras. All right, as my glimmer machine heats up, I will be using my time wisely and putting together and assembling the little slipper and eye mask for a card. I have that pattern paper cut out with a die from Pink and Maine that I will be pairing with all of these little die cuts. So my glimmer machine is older now. It's definitely a few years old and I use it a lot. So I'm noticing that it's taking a while to warm up. I probably will have to buy a new one within maybe 2 years. I don't know, but I try to be patient in all things with crafting. Okay, so my glimmer plate is now touching my machine. Then I have my foil shiny side down, gray side touching the paper with my paper on top. I set the timer and it will be rolling. Just a little side note that most of this video will be at 2 times the speed. So my hands might be moving a little quicker, that light might be flashing a little bit quicker, just so this video is not 100 hours long. I've gone ahead and run that through my die cutting machine from Spellbinders and watch this. It's so gorgeous. I wish I could pass that to you so you could do the peel and reveal for yourself because it is so satisfying. Gorgeous. And it is straight because I use the hinge method. Now for this one, I'm just going to place it on to the platform and I just kind of gently put it down. Whoop, there we go. And then I will run that through and watch this. So gorgeous. Look at that aura with the black paper. It's incredible. Sometimes it looks rainbow, sometimes it looks silver, sometimes it looks white. So gorgeous. I'm going to put the 2 owls on that. It will be adorable. All right, let's kind of finish off this one a little bit. Now, I won't be doing a lot of the finishing on this video because I don't think anyone really needs to watch me stamp out a bunch of sentiments and die cut them out. So this will be my first card that I will be mostly assembling with you, but I will be doing the sentiments and such at the end off camera, and then at the very, very end of the video, I will show you all of the cards. So a little bit different than normal. I just figured, why show you stamping out a bunch of sentiments when once is plenty. So I'm going to use that pretty paper, and we'll move right along to the large die. I want to make a shaped card, so I have a card base in my hand, and I will be placing this die so there is a little bit of a gap there, and that will not cut out the whole thing, and that will make it so my card will open. I'm going to just align it just so, and I'm using my Anna Griffin die cutting machine for this. To me, this is my favorite die cutting machine of all time because it is electric and it does press into the paper when it die cuts out. It is a reason why it's so expensive because it's really that good. Okay, so let's assemble my little gal here. I'm going to make her have a little bit of a spa theme to the card. I'll start with her face and her hair. I will be making a little mistake here in just a second, so bear with me as I add all the little glue. I put her eyes on before her cheeks, and you'll see why that's important, because the cheeks would cover up her eyes, and in real life that's not how the face works. So we'll remove the lashes, put the cheek on, and then put the lashes right back over it. Perfect. And then I wanted this girl to be a little bit of a spa moment here. So she's going to have the gold under eye mask pieces. And I don't know if you've ever tried these. Let me know down in the comments. I got a few of them gifted to me at the end of the last school year, and they feel so luxurious on your face. And I don't know if it's just mental, like you just kind of think it works, but maybe it does work. I think that they feel amazing under the eye. I haven't I haven't bought any more since then, but I do think that they are a really fun luxury item. So totally side note, I loved getting them as an after school year gift. And if you're looking for a Christmas gift to give to someone who's not crafty and has eyes, I think they'd enjoy those. They feel so cooling on the skin. You never knew that you'd get skincare advice from this video, did you? I didn't think I'd be giving any, but here we are. All right, to finish off this gal, I wanted her to have a fun little bath theme to go with her spa eye patches. So I die cut out with some pretty patterned paper from my stash from scrapbook.com. I will link that down below if you're interested in picking up that pack. I'll put on the screen what it is in just a few seconds. You'll see a picture of it. And then for her robe, I wanted to use a scrap of paper that I'm pretty sure is from Lawn Fawn, but it's older in my craft room and I can't quite remember. So I think it's Lawn Fawn. But the pattern paper where I got her towel for her bath towel pattern that I went with was from the bouquet patterned paper. But I think this die would be really cool to make some ladies who have some kind of a head wrap on or a scarf of some kind with a little bit of their hair showing. I think this is just such a sweet die. You don't have to go like the spa theme that I'm going with for this. You can just make a nice gal. I will just trim off a little bit. Some of the white was showing. I think I just placed the part of the towel on her head just a little bit off, but it's fine. I know when I wrap my hair up in a towel after I wash it, it's a little bit lumpy as well, so it's all good. Then to continue the spa theme, I did add one little cucumber slice to the card, and she is all set by adding a little bit of glossy accents on her lips. All right, we'll move right along to the next card, chugging along to my blue owl card. This was one of my favorites from this month. I'm going to take my little scissors here, sped up, by the way, of me fussy cutting out the scissors. Now, these are spring-loaded, so if you don't like fussy cutting, I do recommend a spring-loaded scissors like that. That one is from Fiskars, and it just opens up the scissors for your hand. It just makes it that much easier. Now I'm going to spray my paper off camera, and I will line up my embossing folder and my paper with the front of the folder like that, and then I will pinch it closed, and that is how I get my paper to be straight in embossing folders. Now I used the brushed white cardstock from Spellbinders for this. You guys, if you use any embossing folder with that paper, it looks stunning. It looks so gorgeous because it is pearlized and white, and there's just something so elegant about a pearly look, and the white paper is just so gorgeous as well. So I seriously, I dare you to find the embossing folder that you don't like the most in your craft room and emboss it with the polished or the brushed pearlized white paper from Spellbinders. You're going to like it. I know you will, because the paper does all of the work. But the embossing folder is super cute this month as well. So with that combination, we're going to get something adorable. All right, with this branch, you can have the branch have the little sprig off to the left or right. It does not matter. Just gives a different look. I placed the tails of the owl onto the back of the branch, and I just offset their tail colors. So you can see the one on the left has a darker blue outline and the other one has a lighter blue outline. The two owl faces turn toward each other. So if you wanted two lady looking owls with the eyelashes, you could have it on your card. They just would be kind of nestled to the left. And if you wanted two of the no eyelash owls, you can have them nesting to the right. So their faces are turned, but their bodies are these heart wings. Oh, my heart is so full looking at these cutie pies. But they just look so snuggly and adorable, and that is adorable. You gotta admit, even if you don't like owls, you don't like animals on cards, that is so stinking cute. Now just wait till the flowers get added because it's just over the top adorable. So with a little sprig there, you can have it go toward her, like the bottom part go down. I'm not saying this correctly, but it looks like a smile, or you can make the crown look like a frown, and either way it looks so cute. I'm going to do another owl card later in this video. I won't show all the assembly and such, but since you're getting it now. But either way you put the crown on, it looks so cute. My next step is to add all the greenery, so I like to just lay it out, tuck some underneath, and then put some on top. This can be somewhat sloppy. I know that sounds a little, what? What do you mean sloppy? Yep, it can be sloppy because you're going to cover it up with flowers. If you want the flowers, you can cover them up. Or you can just have it be a tree and have it be kind of green. To me, this is almost reading bridal as well because of the little white flower crown on the owl head. But you know, I'm all for non-traditional wedding cards. I think they're always fun to do different themes for wedding. It doesn't need to have like people dressed in wedding clothes on the front to be a wedding card. You can have cute little owls and hearts. I mean, so cute. Okay, I will be popping up the owls with some foam. And of course, my flowers are falling off as I do that, but I'll get them back on. I will get them back on. Now, I've been pulling for this little die set that has the little sayings and such, so you'll see me use that on my finished card. Let's get better pressing and inky. I do really love the Better Press inks because they are quick drying and they are a very viscous. They're high in the viscosity levels, so they are super thick and I don't need to press them out a whole bunch of times. I just am going to lay these out on my screen here just so you can see how I store mine. I use these little tins from Tim Holtz, and currently I have 3 of them and they're all full. So they did just come out with some new inks, so I probably will probably will be getting a 4th tin just because they came out with a new red and I have been needing a good red. So when I better press, you can do this little hack, which I think I made up. I don't know. To me, I just did it one day in my craft room. I put it on a video and people freaked out because it worked pretty well. So what you do is you lay out the plates on your paper how you want them. On the white or the clear piece, you use magnets on the other side to keep them in place. You flip it over, put it on your main better press platen, push down the thing, release the magnets, and your plates are exactly where you want them. For this plate, you can also just use the grid, although some plates that you will be better pressing with, you want one little sentiment in just the right spot, or there might not be a registration template for something, and that is a little tip for you that I found very helpful. So there you go. If you have questions about it, let me know in the comments. I ran that through my little machine there. Oh, look how cute that is, and it dries right away. Fantastic. I am using better pressed paper with this, the one that is called porcelain. To clean my better pressed plates, I use Extreme Clean from LDRS Creative, and it is a very great cleaner for better press. It's the one I use most of the time, actually all of the time. I don't even know why I said most of the time, but it's what I use. And if you grab it from ldrscreative.com and you use code Melanie15, you're going to get 15% off with my friend Melanie's code. I have permission to share that code with you, and it's evergreen and it works all of the time. And with a little bit of a microfiber cloth, you can get your plate clean pretty quick. Now for this heart, I wanted to go in with the Wildberry Pink and go all over the plate. And then I'm going to go in with Hydrangea. Now this is the 2 ink colors that I made my first little purple better press ink, if you remember way back like a year ago. And I'm just gently flicking that on the edges of the heart. And watch what this looks like after. Wow, it's so pretty. I have the pinks, the purples, the blues, and it just makes everything pop. Isn't that gorgeous? And it took seconds, maybe a minute to do. Honestly, it takes longer to clean it than it did to make it. So cool. Now watch how easy it is to die cut out these sentiments. Ran it through, boom, 4 sentiments cut out in seconds. And another set. Amazing. All right, for this card, I'm going to be going down the layer route. And so I have my patterned paper pieces all cut out. And I have this border die from Spellbinders and a stitch die from way back long ago from Spellbinders. And the heart, and I'm going to put the otter on top. So let's talk about the pattern paper. The pattern paper is from Paper Rose. I will link that down below. Spellbinders does sell it. The border dies that I use there, if they are still available on the Spellbinders website, I will link them. This stitched one it's got to be at least 3, 4, 5 years old. It's one of the first stitching dies that I ever purchased, and I love this die. This was actually a scrap. I was on a very long and lovely phone call, Zoom, whatever you want to call it, video call with my bestie Melanie, and I organized all of my scraps, and I found this scrap that I die cut out years ago, and I just love how it looks. It looks all lacy and doily like, and yes, it is a stitch die, but I did not even stitch it, and it looks so pretty. So use those scraps, my friends. This card will have a white border. I'm going to put my little panel down and whoop, little glue dot. Let's get off of there. And then I will just let that sit. So pretty. I mean, that already is gorgeous, but just wait till you see the Better Press heart and the otter on top. So pretty. And if you are going to make an otter, if you are going to make an otter, I want to know what color you're going to make your otter, because to me, I have been just going down the cool tone train and just going all the cool tones, the fuchsia, pinky purples, the blues, the teals, the greens. I love cool tones. Although, with that being said, I have been using a lot of warm tones in my Advent videos. So check those out. They will be going up every day at 8 o'clock on my channel. Even today, when the club video goes up at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to have my first Advent video. So I hope you enjoy those, even if you didn't grab the Advent kit. All right, to assemble the otter, I will glue just a little bit of a white scrap of paper to the back of the head. This will just give the eyes and the nose a little bit of white paper. I am going to make the nose shiny. You'll see how I do that in a few minutes. So cute. The little arms holding the heart, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute, girl. I know. It's adorable. All right. The tails, like I said at the beginning, you can choose the direction of the tails. I wanted this one going toward the left. For composition on cards, I love it when characters are either facing the right, or like on this one would be facing the right, but it just makes sense to face the opening of the inside of the card. Don't ask me why. It just is one of those unwritten rules that is in my head, and it kind of has to be that way most of the time. Although I am known to be a little bit of a rule breaker with composition on my cards, so take it with a grain of salt, you know? Okay, with this one, I am going to use the speech bubble as well. Those speech bubbles are from Spellbinders. They are so easy to use, and I will have them linked down below. I'm going to put a dot for the eye and then fill in the nose with this black gel glaze pen. So pretty and so shiny. Even when it dries, it is shiny. All right, friends, let's get stitchy. Moving right along. I have a whole playlist on my channel called Stitching 101, and it is 2 very important videos that teach you what you need to actually stitch on cards and the supplies you need and how I stitch. So if you want more details, go watch that playlist. I will have that linked down below as well. But for this project, I will be splitting a 6-strand thread from DMC. It's kind of a cream. And I will be stitching with 3 strands. Some people use 2, some people use 6. I like 3. Happy medium. And then I use a tapestry needle most of the time, or just a regular needle. Spoiler, you don't need to go buy a million things to stitch on cards. Just any old needle will do. All right, for this project, I'm going to tie the tail. So I'm leaving a longer tail and just pinching it with my thumb and pointer finger, and going up the inside and up the outside and down the center. And that is important for this style of card because it is going to get full in that center. So if I were to go the other way and come up the middle, it will sometimes push those threads out, and I don't prefer that look. So I always go down the center hole, or whatever is the main hole of the project. Then when I'm all finished stitching, run out of the holes, I will just simply tie it off. Now, with some pieces, you can use tape, you can use glue, you can hide the tail and have it hold. I will show all of those different ways to do that in my playlist of videos. So, like I said, check that out and you will know more about that. I'll do the second mug and we'll keep on going. I might use this die for my Mug Club die for my Craft Roulette card. That's when you send in 100 cards. Crazy. I think I'm on week 33, 34, 35. I'm in my 30s for my weeks of submissions, and I have not missed one single week since I started. And I am so excited about that. And I usually put up videos on my channel for how I conquer the parameters each week. So if you are interested, be sure to subscribe and check those out. It's just such a fun community and that's really amazing inspiration, honestly. Okay, I'll just trim that off and we'll be good to go. The little frames that I'm using are from Spellbinders. I really enjoy using things from my stash, and I love the look of mixed media. So these cards are no different. And for this, I have some layers, and my layers are black and that citron, and it's really going to make these pop. I was just checking to make sure that these were not sticky on the back, which they are not, which is fine. And then I'll just add a little gray panel behind each of the frames. For assembling the cup, this is something that I've learned from assembling. If you want your tea bags to hang on the edge of the mug, put the tea bag on first, that string. Mine are white on this card. Or you can have it be bouncy, like this one will be bouncy. But my other mug will be, I will put the tea bag in first, and then you'll be able to see the difference. For adding stitching on projects, you can use liquid glue, like I am here. You can use glue dots, whatever is your preference, it does not matter. Some glue squished out my center hole, but it's just fine. You can always add a little gem to the center, or on this project, you can add a flower like I am. Now I die cut out the tea bags with white cardstock, but I wanted it to kind of match the vibe of the card that I have here. So I'm going to use some Copic markers and just color those up. That was B39. Sorry, I did not put the cap up before. And then BG32, so blue-green. And then we will get that tea bag on. And you'll see what I mean here by the bounciness of the thread, because it will look like it's kind of coming way up and then going down and not hanging over the edge of the mug, which I probably should have just done, but you live and you learn. This one was matching my mug almost too much, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue-green 45 to this just to darken it up. This always dries lighter, so I find that if I made it a little darker, it wouldn't get lost so much in the background of the cup. For adding on the tea bag, I just am going to pounce some glue on to the back of some foam tape there. So just any scrap really would be fine to do that. And there's my bouncy tea bag string, but that's fine. This card is kind of whimsical anyway. And then it will put my little tea bag label on like so. And then I'll repeat that for my second card. Now, this paper that I'm putting onto my project right now is from Hobby Lobby. I have mixed feelings about Hobby Lobby so very much, but this one, I do like this patterned paper pack, and it's perfect for making 5x7 size cards. So I will just do a quick little flip through of that patterned paper pack for you, but I think that this green paper looks so good with the patterned paper. There it is. Uncharted. I mean, $6.99. That's a pretty good price. $6.49. I don't know. But lots of fun colors in there. And you know I love black and I love vibrant colors. So this pack was really fun. Okay, now this I'm pretty sure is supposed to be the steam for the cups. I thoroughly enjoy using shadow dies, which means just die cutting it out twice and just gluing it offset ever so slightly to get that other color to be the shadow. So I took some holographic paper from Pajama Crafter Stamps and that beautiful teal color paper from Spellbinders and made that right there. Now with the steam, I wanted the steam to be vellum. And if you've ever used vellum, you know the struggles of vellum. Oh my. The struggle is, where do you put the glue? Well, let me tell you the hack that I love to use the most with vellum. Put some rip and stick double-sided adhesive right behind it. I will link some down in the description from Spellbinders. That's what I use. And it makes it into a sticker. So instead of having to glue things wherever and have it be a mess and have glue dots behind it, you turn the vellum into a sticker. And right now I'm just being so ever so gentle with these that I will be able to pick up and move them. But then when I have them in place, I will just push them down and they will be all into place. So like I said, you take the vellum, you put the vellum onto the double-sided adhesive sheet, then you die cut out the pieces and it turns them into stickers. It's so easy peasy, and you can use it for any size of glimmer, any die, and then you can have vellum die cuts with no glue blobs. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. No one likes a glue blob. All right, to finish off this card, I'm going to grab my glossy accents and just kind of zhuzh up the back there. Ooh, do you see that little barcode on the back? That means I used a 12 by 12 piece of some black scrap paper. I have been diving into my 12 by 12 scrap papers that I have been hoarding and saving and using them up. So that's really fun. That little sticker reminded me of that. So the glossy accents will help the coffee or cocoa, just kidding, they have two bags, help the tea look wet. So this will dry, and then I'm also going to put some little dots off to the sides of the sentiment to make them shiny. I'll show you the finished result in a little bit. Now for this stencil, the stencil is so sassy. And the code word for this video is going to be Robin, R-O-B-I-N, Robin. And if you know, you know. The code word is something you put in the comments, so I know that you watched all the way through the video. All right, moving right along. With this stencil, I'm going to be pulling from ink from all over my stash. You're going to see some lemonade from Lawn Fawn. That was the yellow. Carved pumpkin from Distress. Rusty hinge from Distress for the belly of the little bird here. We're going to call it a robin, although I know robins aren't blue, so there's that. But to me, this is my little robin. People are named Robin, and they are not physically Robin. So if people can be named Robin, my bird can be named Robin and not be a robin. Alrighty. By the way, I am using my Altenew grip mat for this. I will have a special discount with Altenew coming later this month, so be sure to subscribe to my channel so you know when that happens. Okay, I'm also going to use the carved pumpkin on the beak of my little birdie. Then for the body, I want it to be blue. So I'm going to use a couple different blues, and of course we're going to have a pink heart with the Kitsch Flamingo from Distress. Look at these brushes. Oh, they're so easy to use. I'm telling you, they are the shading sidekicks from Trinity. I will have them linked as well. I love them, and I am totally spoiled using them over my old ones. They are so much better. I'm going to use broken china for the majority of the wing. Look how I can really pack in that dark blue on the bottom and have it be shaded to light. I'm telling you, it's the brush. The brush does all the work. I love these brushes. Oh, not to be dramatic, but they are fantastic. And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to just fan out on the head and the tail. I want that to be a little bit different than the wing. So I'm going to take some, is it Blue Jeans? Blueprint Sketch, haha. And just darken up the neck and the base of the tail. Moving right along to the next stencil. This is stencil number 4. This, I'm going to pull some greens from my stash, and you know I love Twisted Citron, that bright neon green. Gorgeous. And I'm just going to layer it on to the leaves, just packing it on the bottom so it looks like there's a little bit of a shadow where the flowers are. So gorgeous. And I do have one brush for every color, except for whatever reason, green and red. I think I have two, just for flowers and such. Oops, I almost forgot the little sprig by the beak. Ta-da! Oh, that's looking so gorgeous. Now, the last stencil really pulls in the whole thing, and it gives all the details. So with this, I did not want to have maybe like a dark orange for the flowers, a dark green for the leaves. I wanted it to all be cohesive. So I thought about black. I really did. But then I saw pumice stone in my distress colors here, and I thought that would be a great little neutral to tie in all the details, but not be too harsh. You know I love black on cards, but I felt like this scene is just a little bit too sweet to have a harsh black line. And I thought that this would be just fine. Now I know it looks really dark right now on camera. It's going to dry back, and it already looks lighter without the stencil on top. All right, I'll just pop that off, and then I'll just do a little freeze frame of the inks just in case you need to see. We've got Twisted Citron, Kitsch Flamingo, Rusty Hinge, Lemonade, Pumice Stone, Carved Pumpkin. Oh, Uncharted Mariner. I said that wrong before. Uncharted Mariner is the dark blue, and then Broken China for the blue, the light blue. You can use whatever you want though, but I just wanted to show what I used on my project. All right, we'll move right along to the finishing of this card. Now I did go ahead and run that through with this. This is the postage edge. And I'm going to grab some pattern paper from Kelly Bangs. Her Just Sayin' is where those little speech bubbles come from. And I love this pattern paper pack. It's really pretty. Now the panel that's going across there, I will be pulling for my next card, but I will do the sentiment and such off camera. All right, for the regular embossing folder, I have some Simon Hurley dye ink, and I will be pressing that out with the embossing folder. I added ink to the top part of the embossing folder, the half of the embossing folder that has the Spellbinders logo on it. So that's how you know that's the top. And then I ran that through my die cutting machine, and that pressed the image onto the circle. Now I will clean that off camera, and then I will be grabbing some more of that brushed white pearlized cardstock from Spellbinders. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this brushed white cardstock looks so gorgeous with any folder, but this one is such a sweet folder that I thought I would show it to you with this one, as well as the Unlock My Heart or Lock My Heart, which is the 3D embossing folder. Now I'm going to be making layers. So this one, I thought about using the other yellow Better Press Heart with this project. I ended up going ahead and trimming this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to layer it on to some cardstock. I'm not going to go with the black one this time. And to really zhuzh up the background here, I'm going to grab my pink shading Sidekick, those same brushes that I used before, and just kind of dust up the edge. And I am using my embossing folder to work on, because right now I have my Glassboard Studio glassboard on my mat. But if you remember, the crazy tale about my anti-glare glassboard is something that I would not recommend doing. So for filming processes and purposes, I don't use my glassboard that is very reflective. So that's why I did it on my embossing folder. Okay, now I'm going to put my circle in the center of my card and then push it up just a little bit. So it will be centered, but centered to the top. and it almost lines up the pattern perfectly. Then I'm going to put my patterned paper over this, and this will give a little belt to my card. And this will give a little space for where my little owls are going to land on. What is that contraption on the left side of the screen? Ha! Well, let me tell you. As I use the tool to put the thicker embellishments onto my project, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. So some of you might look at this and go, girl, that's a glue gun. But it really is not, because it is going to use clear glue or clear sticks that look like glue gun and they look like a glue stick, but they are very clear. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like here. Now this is going to end up being not a perfect little impression with the wax seal of the month, but it is the clear seal maker tool, and I'm using it on my Glassboard Studio Glass, but they do sell a glass board from Spellbinders to use on it. And it really does help make the wax, or the wax of it all, but like the plastic that comes out, clear. So I am using it like a glue gun with my ribbon, but it really does make beautiful clear wax seals to use on your projects. And you might be looking at this going, well, it's not wax. What are you talking about? Well, when you use the little wax beads, they're not really wax either. I mean, they're called wax beads, but they are not waxy like candle wax or beeswax, which is great because nobody needs wax feeling things on cards. That just sounds awful and it would crack, and these do not. So there's that. But I have a whole video on my channel where I walk through using this new tool, and I will link that in the description of this video so you can see that. But just some little tips that you can use for it. If your little glass board gets messy, you can always clean it with hand sanitizer. That's something that I found that works really well. And when you wax seal on to the glass mat and not on to a silicone mat, it actually makes the process go smoother because the glass is already going to be colder than silicone. So it makes the crafting process go quicker. And then when you're not sealing the wax seal, you can set it on the glass and it stays colder. So that brass handle, the brass knob on the wooden handle will be colder. And when cold touches the hot wax, or the wax, if you will, the wax, the plastic, whatever you want to call it, it makes a better impression. So because this stamp, the wax seal stamp of the month, is kind of a little arch, I put my glue in the shape of an arch-ish / circle, and then you'll see what it looks like after. But it is so, so pretty. Just wait until you see what it looks like with the bouillon colored wax. I'm telling you, I'm saying that so weirdly, but I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I will look it up. Hang on.
Bouillon.
Okay, well, that's how Google says to say it. So we're going to go with that, but it looks so gorgeous. The silver and the gold. I'm going to use both and get a new look because I haven't tried that before, and I love experimenting on cards and projects and just trying things out and seeing what I get, because why not? It's art, and experimenting is fun with art. Hey babe, it's me, Justine, interrupting this video. Have you ever better pressed? Do you have a better press that is sitting somewhere in your crafty space looking at you? Maybe you bought it. Maybe you're scared to take it out. Maybe you've loved it and used it and made beautiful things already. No matter what your situation, you, crafter, can join the Better Press Babes. Melanie Smith and I, my best crafty buddy, we have started a whole awesome community all about Better Press. So you can join us monthly on our channels. Depending on the month, it might be on my channel, it might be on Melanie's channel, but we do live events every single month. We have fantastic sponsors. We do fun giveaways, and it's a great time to ask questions live and in person with us through our YouTube videos. So you can join the Facebook group Better Press Babes on Facebook. I will have that linked in the description of this video. And also you can join Melanie and I on our lives. We absolutely love interacting with you all in the chat. So please join us on our lives. And if you subscribe to our channels, you can be notified for the live events. We just want you to have a great time with your Better Press, just like us. So join the Better Press Babes on Facebook, and we will see you on our next Babes Night Out, which is our live event. Maybe you will be one of the winners of our next Better Press Babes Live fun crafty giveaway. We shall see. See you there. I really do hope to see you there this month. It'll be so fun. All right, you can see I just kind of peel that off my glass mat. It is easy peasy. And I'm going to take the silver and gold on this project, but I'm going to first go in with the gold. Now, I just want to mention that this is not makeup. Even though it looks like makeup, they do not recommend putting this by your eyes. So I just felt like I needed to say that just so you know for this video, for the sake of the video. I'm going to do one more just for funsies. I do like this wax seal. I think it's really cute and endearing. This would be so cute to put on the outside of cards. Look how easy that is to come off my glass mat. Just simple. Once it gets dry and cold, you can just pop it right off. And I say pop because you really can just pop it off. Use the side of your finger and it just comes right off. You don't have to scrape anything off. There's no soot. It's a whole thing. I'm kind of reevaluating how I do wax seals now. I'm hoping that they come out with more colors. If they did the whole rainbow, I would be thrilled because that would mean no more soot in my craft room. Look how fun that is. And, oh, voice crack for the win. Okay, I'm going to go in with the gold first. And you just use this little, it's a makeup brush, yes, but look, you just rub it right on. And it is immediately shiny. So the wax seal at this moment is not hot. It's not warm. It's just kind of room temp, cold with my mat. And look how that just comes to life. Get in all the little nooks and crannies with my brush. So gorgeous. This reminds me of my nails, actually. My nail tech will use this really pretty, what does she call it? She calls it chrome finish. And when the nail polish is kind of tacky, it will go on top and then it finishes the light curing. Look how that turned into a silver gold, like a white gold look. So pretty. Oh, so gorgeous. There's the silver and gold. You just peel it off. Boom. And it's going to go on my project. Now, to finish this project off, I felt like, why only do one owl card when you can do two owl cards, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the owls off camera, add them to this, and then we're going to put some embellishments on it to the card. One little favor I would ask of you, if you have liked or learned anything from this video, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And it would be even so much more wonderful if you were to hit the share button and send this just to one crafty friend. If you do that, it really does help out my channel and it helps my videos reach more craft rooms, which means I can probably do more content. So that would be so very helpful, and it is completely free to engage with the video. So thank you in advance if you do that. Speaking of embellishments, you might notice that mine are on these little rings. I recently organized all my embellishments, and I'll show you the little package that I store them in now. So easy to clean them up too. Boom, right into packages. Well, shall we look at all of the finished cards? I think yes, we shall. Again, thank you for watching all the way through the making section of this video. You guys are totally the best. Oh, I really do love all of these fun goodies. Now, before I go into these more, I just want to give you a little update about the Glassboard Studio things and how I've liked them, because last month I talked about them in my club video, and let's give an update, shall we? First of all, the more magnets I get, the more I end up using them, because I have been using them for gluing things down, holding stencils. I have really enjoyed these. So, love the magnets, and I really love these little trays that they have. So, I just want to let you know, if you want these trays, the craft catchers, if you order today, December 1st, with my code JustineD, and you order $150 worth of product, which is, I know it's kind of a lot, but you get something for free. You get the set of 3 of the craft catcher. So you get the small, the medium, and the large. And so like I've been using for the last month here, the large is where I put my go-to tools. So I'm talking about my pencil, my black and white gel pens, my reverse tweezers, my pickup stick from Trinity, my small detail scissors from Spellbinders, and then recently I've been using these little sticky tapes. So that's there. And then this one I use for my paper scraps and my recycling garbage. So some of those little paper scraps that I don't want just cluttering up my desk, I just kind of swipe them over and they're done. This I've been using for little bits and bobs. Like if I die cut something out that's extra and I don't really know what to put it on or where it goes, throw back to the Twilight hoot. Anyway, I've just been putting it in this little tray off to the side, either on the left or up on the top of my screen. So it just kind of depends on my mood, what I use the little one for. But I really do like these, and I think that they are keeping my area cleaner. So if you grab these today, this is the last day, December 1st, the last day of their Black Friday sale. Like I said, if you use my code JustineD on orders of $150 or more, you get a free set of these, which is the small, medium, large, for free. So year round, my code will save you 15% off, but during certain times, you can get 20% off. This day, December 1st, is one of those days where it goes up to 20. So just keep that in mind, and I've been working behind the scenes with them and probably going to have it 20% off in the spring for a few months as well. So lots of good discounts for you. Like I said, I try to share those with you. I am an affiliate with them, so I do get a tiny bit of commission. It's not a lot, so it's not like it's costing you anything extra. I just like their products, so I figured I'd promote it. Not to mention, I've been filming more than 1,000 videos on my channel, and I've been using glassboard glasses, the glass boards themselves from Glassboard for years. So this is not like some company just reached out to me and I decided to work with them randomly. This is something that I've used and loved for years. So let's just move along, shall we? Okay. So here are the cards that I made. If you've watched through the whole thing, let me know by leaving a little comment of your favorite card. So this one is the shaped card with the large die. This one I think would be perfect to give someone with like a little, like a spa gift card or something. I love that there are the under eye mask dies that will make the little anti-puff eye patches. I suppose you could use these as eyebrows too. If you inverted them, you could use them as eyebrows, but I went with the under eye mask. Here's my sassy little robin. Wait, not robin. Robins are brown. Hello. Sassy little bluebird. Very cute. And the glossy accents dried really nicely, so they just look like little bubbles of clear. This one is very sweet, and it has that beautiful black paper from Pajama Crafter Stamps with that foil, and it is gorgeous. I love that black paper. It is the best for glimmering black paper, in my opinion. This one, I loved making this wax seal and using the bouillon powder and making a pretty wax seal. Now, I just noticed Some of that did come off on my finger. My hand is a little bit damp because I just set down my water, but it's fine. Typically, it's not going to just flake off like glitter, but it's very subtle and it just has so much shine to it. And I just love all of the light that these little embellishments are picking up. Those are, again, from Spellbinders. So beautiful. Very, very cute. Okay, speaking of owls, here is the You Make Life Better. My sweet little blue owls. I like the difference between the two looks of the little crown. This one, I had it be more of like the crown where it has a bow down in the bottom. This one bows to the top. So it just kind of depends on the look you want, but both are super cute. Very sweet. And then we, of course, have my little otter because so adorable. It's still crushing on you. I think this would be a perfect card for an anniversary or Valentine's Day, or just a because style card for a loved one. And I really love how that black gel pen, which is the black glaze, made the little nose shiny. Now, I made this card when I'm filming a couple of days ago, and you can see it's dry and it still is shiny. Plus, it was so fun to use the two-tone ink on the background for that better press plate. Then my favorite card of the month is the stitched die. Even though you can't see that much stitching, I just love the overall look of this card. I love black on cards, and I love a dramatic, vibrant pop. And this green paper from Spellbinders is just giving that pop against the black, and I just love it. Plus, we've got the shabby chic look with these frames, which are also from Spellbinders. As I said before, I will link everything down below. Anything that I pulled that is not from the clubs, like pattern paper, if I can link it. Some of them, like this paper, is from Hobby Lobby. I can't, but some of it's from scrapbook.com. Some of it's from Paper Rose. I'll link the inks, the papers that I can find, so you can recreate any of these cards. I do not mind if you want to copy my cards. Just say like casing Justine's card or something like that. I do not mind at all. I'm not fussy, and I would love for you to make some art in your life. So let me know what card is your favorite. I really appreciate you watching all the way through the end of this video. I do have lots of other videos coming on my channel. I'll pop a little pic on the screen here. I will be doing the Advent calendar from Spellbinders every single day from December 1st all the way through the 24th, Christmas Eve. I have a video scheduled and ready to go for you on my channel. So if you want, you can also go to those and click notify me. They're going to be posting at 8 a.m. every single day from the 1st through the 24th. So I hope you play along with me. If you have your Advent calendar, I would love to see your makes. So please go ahead and join the Stationery Maker group on Facebook. Then you can share your makes with me. Even if you don't get the calendar, you can share any kind of style of card making to that group year round. And it's just a fun place to get inspiration and share your makes. Everyone is so happy and positive over there, and it's just fantastic. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time. Bye, crafty friend.